Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Coffee Ann on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Joe Callahan. Bob Lauder could not be with us. He's usually here on a Thursday, but today...
But Dave Richards
no.
is. Because if you were all alone, you couldn't say thanks for joining us.
That's right. Thanks for joining me. But Dave is here, admirably filling in for Bob, who couldn't be with us, but we hope Bob can be with us next week.
And answering all sports questions.
Yes. Sue Tessier-McKenzie from the Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times will be joining us at some point today, and we're scheduled to have the mayor here. We just not sure if the mayor will arrive.
Right. We didn't get a confirmation, but we
That's
did see the schedule. Now we have big news from the Autumn Fest calendar front.
Yes, and congratulations out to Flo Bourget.
Bourget. Yeah. I know.
See, I'm trying to be French.
You can't tell. You can't.
No,
yeah, but not everything is French. He's French, but his family didn't ever say. Didn't say Bourget.
Anyway. Well,
Bourget.
Congratulations, Flo. And he is the winner for the Prize a Day calendar. His name goes back in, and maybe he'll be called again. Today, he wins the Executive Auto Wash Platinum Car Washes. He wins the $25 gift card to the Lodge Pub and Eatery. $25 gift card to Little General Stores. That'll come in handy with Thanksgiving right around the corner.
Sure.
And a $25 gift card to the Beef Barn.
A Beef Barn. Cool. All right. Yeah, Flo and Sue are still going strong over there in East Woonsocket, and look forward to seeing them again soon.
All right. Things that are going on in the news.
By the way, he worked for Autumn Fest as a volunteer for a lot of years.
That's right. So thanks for that.
In fact, being a fundraising chair. Do you remember when we used to have the helium balloon that flew over Autumn Fest and it had an ad on it from some company like Synagro or something like that? That was Flo's.
Barely.
That was Flo's idea.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. That's a good one.
Yeah, very good one.
All right. Other things happening that we can get to. Well, they had a little fun down there at Brown University, Dave.
Oh no.
The kids.
Shades of 1969.
Well, they're trying their best, and they took over the administration building where the president is.
Yeah.
And it's so, I read about this, and it's just so funny. Okay, you can protest from this time to this time.
Right.
And then you can't.
Right.
And that's what they told the kids. Okay, if you want to sit in here, fine. You're here until 5 o'clock, and then you got to go.
Right.
5 o'clock comes, and Brown University police said, all right, we're giving you an extra half hour.
Oh, they shouldn't have done that.
Well, they did. But leave in the extra half hour, or we're calling the Providence police.
Right.
They've got the paddy wagons, for lack of a better word. And they said, okay, but they said, no, we're not leaving.
People don't go to those things unless they expect to be arrested.
And they were. Providence police came.
So
18 people were arrested.
That Brown University police or security staff, that was a bozo move. The extra 30 minutes was not needed. They made up their mind before they went there. They were going to go home from the police station.
Well, but sometimes, maybe there were 25 people there and 7 got up and said, okay, I don't want to be arrested.
Well, you give them the chance at 5 o'clock, and you give them 5 minutes to leave.
Well, they gave them half an hour.
You don't give them a half an hour.
So the group is called Brown University Jews for Ceasefire.
Yeah.
And what they wanted is for Brown University to divest of any companies that are profiting from the war.
Right.
Now, they don't go into detail of what company is profiting from this current war. Maybe your bullet makers and your gun manufacturers and your missile people. I guess they're going to be profiting from it. And so the president of the college, Christine Paxton, said nothing.
Right.
I guess this would be a board of directors decision, wouldn't it? If they're going to divest money? This just wouldn't be the president's call.
Well, you can look at it two different ways. You talk to the president because they're the executive.
They're the top guy.
They will bring it to the
person.
board of directors.
Yeah.
If further people have to be involved, fine. But it's easier to talk to one person than it is to talk to a group that isn't assembled and only comes together for meetings. So you would talk to the president rightly and ask the president, bring it to the board of directors if that be the way it has to go.
So I'm going to make an assumption here that not much is going to happen to the 18 that were arrested. I'm sure Brown's not going to press charges.
Well, it's a misdemeanor. It's trespassing. You get a fine, and then you're on your right.
way.
And then 30
Don't
years
do it-
later,
don't
you
do it
can't run
again.
for president because you were arrested. That's
This is going on your permanent record?
Well, it is. If you're over 21, it goes on your permanent
But
record.
it's a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
But
You-
after a couple of years, it gets expunged from your record.
Not automatically, no.
Misdemeanors, I think they do. Oh, we need Bob.
Well, what? Yeah. Well, what state are you talking about? I don't
Oh,
think
Rhode
they do that
Island.
here.
No? Okay. Well, I'll
Besides,
try
it
to
doesn't
remember that
matter
next
with
week.
TMZ out there, right?
No, they'll pull it up.
Yeah,
They
expunged, not expunged makes no difference.
They
right?
won't make the difference between felony and misdemeanor. They'll
No,
just say
they won't.
arrested, right?
Yeah,
Convicted, right?
right.
If you paid the fine, you're convicted.
Right.
So, okay. We did get a note that was called. Well, it was emailed in to me yesterday. A little on the lengthy side, but it deals with
What's it
going
boiled
on
down
today.
to, Joe?
Massachusetts will be running out of shelters for the migrants today.
Today, yeah.
We've
yeah.
hit
That was in my newscast.
we've hit
yeah.
capacity.
That's
well,
right.
The word is, well, what did you expect? We swallowed too much, so we couldn't digest, or we bit off more than we could chew. Or another good cliche.
We didn't bite anything. Massachusetts is a victim of the failed immigration policies of the United States with regards to the borders. The porous, well, I won't say what some people say. I'll say the porous borders.
Mm-hmm.
There's places to get into the country when you didn't go through the proper channels to get into the country. And so now you've got an issue where these people have to live somewhere. They need services, blah, blah. And in the United States of America, we have big hearts, big wallets, and we try to take care of everybody, whether they cause their own trouble or not.
They say, didn't we forecast and realize that we couldn't handle this? Well, actually, yes. But when Mass put in that law, they didn't think they'd ever have to use it,
Yeah.
and now we do. So to design a program to get these
Whether we
migrants,
caused our trouble or not.
yeah, to design a program.
And by the way, for the casual listener who hasn't kept up on this, Massachusetts has a law that few states do. And they say that the Commonwealth, has taken responsibility for the housing and shelter of people who need it.
the right to shelter, okay.
Right to shelter, right, is the common name for it.
So-
And so it's the state's deal to try to get you someplace out of the elements to sleep at night.
But now they're going to put people on a waiting list.
Right? And the judge says that the governor can, under these kinds of circumstances, put people on a waiting list. And in the meantime, they hope that the Red Cross will take care of them or find some,
They're throwing
some
more money at it.
humanitarian agency. Oh, yes. And of course, the governor is rightly saying this is a federal problem, not a state problem. It gets to be our problem because we're holding the bag.
Yep.
We're going to the feds and asking them to pay for what we're doing. Heinz Auditorium. Remember the Heinz Auditorium? Huge place. And the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Massachusetts suggested the Heinz to be an overflow shelter when their shelter system is maxed out.
That's on paper. That's a good idea, but people will complain, mostly the migrants, that this is inhumane. That everyone gets a cot and we're in this huge building.
Yeah, right. That's
They'll-
right.
they'll
They
complain
do
about
that.
it.
And if they don't, then some bleeding heart lawyer will do it.
All right,
Whatever.
back to the note. To design a program that gets these migrants situated and get them to work is a task. But what about the unregistered migrants who have snuck in? Don't care about working. Yes, they don't care. And there are thousands that we cannot account for. Where do they go? The border control is a mess. We know that. It's like
You
trying
can't
to control
account
a
for
horde
them
of
because
ants.
you didn't see them come in. You're supposed to
Yeah.
see them come in.
This U.S. citizen said they're fed up with the whole thing. So,
Yes. Well, I can identify with that emotion.
yep.
Seriously, I'm looking at it, and it may sound like I'm a little blasé about it. I struggle to maintain a logical perspective in these emotional situations because wrong is happening, and how do you stop the wrong without being more wrong? Same situation Israel finds itself in trying to clean Hamas out of the Gaza Strip. It was wrong that they got attacked and thousands were killed by a group that had only killing in mind. Mm-hmm. They didn't have an agenda they were threatening to put together. It was, okay, let's kill as many Jews as we can and get this thing rolling here. And then, but before we do that, let's kidnap a whole bunch of people that they won't want to kill and they won't want us to kill. that'll put them in a bad position.
So they won't kill us.
Yeah, right. Well, so it's a greater wrong, sometimes, but life isn't fair, and I don't. That's
cool. Can I quote you on that, Dave?
It's too trite a thing to really say.
Yeah.
But what more do you have?
No,
Seriously,
you
I mean,
don't.
what more do you have to offer? That this is wrong, that's wronger. But I mean, how can you stand around and say, "Hey, they just killed thousands of"? The United States stand around and say, "Oh yeah, well Bin Laden, he probably just had a very tough
bad
childhood. Yeah, he didn't have good examples when he was growing up, and so he's got anger issues and stuff like." No,
let
the
him
United
slide.
States did not say that after 9/11. The United States put him on a hit list and directed all their forces around the globe
Go get him.
to find out where he is, so we can bring him to justice. And try not to hurt other people when you can, but if you have to, okay.
Funniest thing I ever saw about. Oh, Sue McKenzie's here.
Hey, Susie.
Hi, Sue.
Good morning.
Thanks. It's tag team. You have to tag me.
You're in.
Yeah, right.
I'm in. You're out.
Because I'm holding the place
You're holding
till
the
you
fort
get here.
down. I saw
Come a
the.
little to your right, my dear.
So we saw the funniest
I
thing I
want to
ever
get you
saw
on the camera right. No, come over to your right a little more. You were really off to the left. Okay, there you go.
when we were looking for Bin Laden. There was a joke that went around Facebook, and all they showed was the cast of The Sopranos, and underneath it said, "Just tell us where he is and forget about it."
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, another sad part of humanity. Another sad part. That whole thing, and then having to execute the guy. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it that the hurting hearts demand retribution, but it doesn't make it any more right. You still took a human life.
I know.
And I didn't agree with it, but I'm a vote of one in a cast of millions.
So we talked about the Brown University students that were arrested
Yes.
yesterday. 18 of them. They wouldn't leave the president's building or their office or wherever they were sitting in. And even though
Administration
we told you,
building.
we're going to arrest you if you don't leave by 5:30, and they didn't
Yeah.
leave. Okay.
No, and that was
out
it.
out they went. All
But
18 were
I
arrested.
remember when those things were happening when I was a teenager, Joe.
Well, they-
I remember it very
history
vividly,
repeats itself.
and you
Yeah.
didn't go to the march unless you expected trouble, and you
Yeah.
didn't go to the march to the sit down if you didn't expect a free trip to the police department. You just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that it was a good chance it was going to happen,
But
and
this
you
is what-
resigned yourself to that before you participated.
So see if you agree with this. 'Cause it's different now than then because back then the students were still responsible for whatever classwork they missed. Now they get a free pass from their professors because they went to the protests.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
No, that I don't agree
they'll
with.
at least ask for it. But I remember when this was happening just a couple of years ago. What was it? It was the whole thing. Well, Trump got elected, and college students were just they were beside themselves. They had to take a few days off for mental health, and they were given this by some of them, not all of them, but most of the professors said, "Oh, you're absolutely right, and you don't have to take the test now. Take it in a week when you feel better." And they're going to ask for the same thing because I had to spend the night in jail and I couldn't get to class this morning because they didn't let me out and I need a special dispensation.
And my mouth felt yucky. I didn't have a toothbrush with me or anything.
But that's what happens on college campuses now. They get
Yeah, there's no accountability. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And not just with that, with so many things. There's no accountability.
If you want to go to a protest and do your free speech, great.
That's all fine.
But there's consequences.
But there's accountability.
Yeah. But it's not like that anymore.
It's like me saying, I don't feel like going to work today.
Yeah.
So my accountability is, well, then you ain't getting paid.
Well, that's
I mean, it's no accountability.
I've seen that some people they like to make their videos on their phone, the whole TikTok thing, and the younger one, they've just right out of college and they've gotten their first full-time job, and they're complaining. They expect me to show up 5 days in a row at 9 in the morning every morning and stay to 5.
I demand a recount.
I can't. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? And it's like, wow, they should teach real life in college. That should be a class.
Yes.
Well, that was always the way it was when you were in secondary school up to grade 12. It was you were a student, you were a youngster, We treated you like that. When you get into high school, a little more responsibility. Try to tell you a little bit more about reality, because if you get into college, that's where they treat you like they treat you for the rest of your life at work. But that changed.
But what's different at college is you don't go to your class every single day. Sometimes you only go twice a week for like an hour and a half each class. And some people have like every Thursday, they've got nothing.
Right.
They got no class, so they get to sleep until 10 in the morning, and that's where they recharge and have their mental health day.
All right.
And so they have that for 4 years. I want to keep going with that. I like the way it is right now. And
Wow.
that's not how the world works. So.
No, but I have to say, and I always, kind of give my son kudos, because he's 29 years old, and
So is mine.
he was at the same job for 7 years until he left. He was 28 when he left. 7 years at the same job at that age is unheard
That is unheard of. Yeah.
He enjoyed his job. He did his job. He put extra into his job. He would go in. I mean, he would literally leave the house at like 5:30 in the morning. Didn't need to be officially at work till 8. But he would go in, get the cleanup, get himself ready, get himself set up. He just started a new job, almost a year ago. Absolutely loves it. When they found out he was at the same job for 7 years, they were like, dude,
we're hiring you.
You're done. You're in.
You're right. That's all right.
It's just unheard of.
Yeah.
And that's part of the accountability. It's, you have to do this every day. Yes, it can suck, but you have to do it.
And I'm generalizing, and there's a lot of college students that get it, and
Of course.
and they come out and they get a 9-to-5 job, and they don't complain about it.
Right.
But my son, you're right. To contrast, he's 29. He's on his third job.
Right.
Graduated when he was 22, but he got a job right out of school, and did it for a little while. Then with a university, then he jumped to another university in the same position. It wasn't really what he wanted to do, and now he's in a position that he's doing what he wants to do. So I don't see him leaving his current position for a very long time.
3 jobs in that amount of time is not
unusual. No.
But it's usually more than that.
In a 6-year period, you think?
Yeah, nowadays, because it's so hard with working and having work ethics. Those, you don't even hear those 2 words spoken anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think the young, and I've seen this online, and I think the young people adhere to this kind of thinking is, okay, we stay at this job for a year, maybe 2, and then they say, okay, I'm quitting because I got another job. And they say, well, no, stay with us, and what can we do? And the person that's leaving said, you can't match the money I'm going to.
Right.
I'm getting a 20% raise by jumping to another job.
Right.
Are you going to give me a 20% raise? No.
Right.
Maybe 5. Well, and that's what they think. I'm jumping to another job to get more money.
And in essence, that's the only reason my son left. Yeah. And it was a substantial increase.
Well, yeah, okay.
And once he got to this job, he works on high-end cars. And I mean high-end, where they put if he could hear me now, he would cringe, because it's this major seal coating type of thing that costs thousands of dollars to put on these cars. So he's fully high end. So they didn't only need for work ethic, but they needed to know he could be trusted.
Yeah.
Because he's dealing with so many high-end vehicles. And, let's face it, right, between that and just everything, they sent him to Texas for training.
Great. Wow, great.
And so they invested in him because he invested in them.
All right. We're going to take a break on the Coffee Am program. More is coming your way. Please stick around.
Let me say a word about Chan's Fine Oriental Dining at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket. Yes, this is where you get to enjoy the best. Book your next party with Chan's. They have a lovely room, as you know. And great food like the wonton soup, the crab rangoon, boneless ribs, teriyaki sesame chicken, and general chicken, and 5-spice shrimp, lo mein, fried rice. Gosh, I don't have to go through all of it, do I? 32 special combo dinners at Chan's. Delicious and reasonably priced. Friday and Saturday, you have WRIK karaoke in the lounge from 8 to 11. And of course, Mai Tais and Scorpion Bowls to go at Chan's. 765-1900. Delivery at 762-1364. Chan's.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
It is Coffee In on ON Radio. Joe Callahan here. Sue Tessier-McKenzie is here as well. And the Scott McGee listing of the week, if you're watching us online, you can see it up on your computer screen right now. 7 White Hill Lane in Cumberland, Rhode Island. 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,800 square feet. This is going to be a little bit more on the pricey side.
Right.
$980,000.
Wow.
White Hill Lane, by the way, in case you're wondering where it is, if you go up Nate Whipple Highway and as you're heading towards North Attleboro, it's off of Payne Road.
Okay,
it's
I know.
in that general area of Cumberland. So I think we have some pictures of what this very nice house looks like. We're just gonna wait for the pictures to pop up. Here we go. Very nice look at the outside, and there's look at that. You got that 2-car garage, but you don't go in the front. You go in the sides over here, and there's the porch on the front. Two floors, obviously, and it's a biggie. There's that's a good size living room.
Oh yeah.
With the fireplace right over there, the left staircase to the right as you come in with the hardwood floors. That's very nice. Boy, that is
a dandy place, huh?
That is
Look
a
at that.
big open area for the living room and the kitchen.
Big granite-topped island and an open concept kitchen.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a look at the island for the kitchen. Some more.
Light cream and gray is the trim. Whoa, look at that. A stainless steel farmer-style sink.
Yep. Recessed
Stainless
lighting.
steel dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. And
This thing's tricked out.
Mm-hmm. There's another look at the
Wow,
the
look
kitchen.
at that. That
right
looks nice
there.
right there.
Refrigerator, freezer,
Radio
water.
people can't look at it. So
water in the.
we try to describe it.
Water,
I know, right?
Ice and water in the freezer. That's always nice. There's another shot of the kitchen right there.
That's
with
right.
the
Yeah,
granite
the
countertops.
refrigerator has the ice and water dispenser.
Already
And
built
it's all
in.
stainless steel, brushed stainless steel.
There's another
Really
open
nice.
concept there. Boy, the kitchen goes right into the living area.
With a fireplace.
A very nice fireplace.
Yeah.
Looks like central AC too on this house.
Yeah, baseboard, not baseboard heating, but hot air.
Yeah.
Hot air and then cold air.
And a slider to sliding doors to go right out onto the backyard there.
Nice little porch.
That looks like upstairs. That looks like it'd be the master bedroom right there. Ceiling fan at
Huge.
the top, huge. That closet over there. A couple of windows.
You could sleep like five beds. You could put 5 beds in that big living room, bedroom rather, or an entire migrant family.
There's one of the bathrooms, a double sink and a glass enclosed shower. That's nice over there.
It is lots of room in there.
That is the glass shower once again. Do you like having the window in the shower?
No, it's a reflection, Joe.
No, this window right here.
That window right there is a reflection.
No, that's in the shower area.
No, it isn't because
Yes,
it goes
it is.
past the corner.
No, it's there.
Take a look at it. See, there's the window, and then when you go the other way, it's a reflection of the window in the glass of the shower because it's a fully tiled enclosed shower. with a
No, go back.
And that one.
There you go. See,
right,
there's the
there's
window.
I see the reflection
and see the reflection in
there.
the mirror, and you see the reflection in the glass. Now, when you look at inside the shower, the glass is still there, and it's reflecting the window. But if you take a look at the window, it goes beyond the corner of the shower, which it couldn't do physically.
And
All right.
if you go back again.
This is great radio.
I'm sorry, I'm on Dave's side here.
All
Go
right,
back
so-
again. One
all
more.
right,
One
one
more.
more.
See how dark it is in the too
Yeah.
far. See right there. See how dark it is in the shower versus where the
Yeah.
window is.
All right. I
Dave,
guess,
you are
I guess-
correct. I give it to you.
Thank you.
I hate when that happens. All right. All right.
Beautiful shower, though.
It is
with
a
a little
beautiful-
divot.
it is
It's
a
a
beautiful
full-size
shower.
stand-up shower.
Suitable for 5.
Well, you
And
could-
there,
could-
you
could
got to
put five
mention
people
that
in
looks like a tub as well. There's the
Yeah, there's a
stand-up
separate
shower and a separate tub.
That's another bedroom there, showing the good size with the carpeting on the floor.
Two
and that one.
windows in the bedroom, boy. You know that's a pretty good size.
And,
3 windows in that one.
There's a shot of the stairs, looking very nice. Going back down, shot of the upstairs again.
And everything is up to date on the walls because
There's
it's
the backyard.
It's the creams and grays that are
Yeah.
so popular
Yeah.
these days.
And that's a rendering of what it looks like. So it's a brand new building, and it's 7 White Hill Lane. That's in
Which
Cumberland.
is-
980,000. They're asking for it.
You could spit into Massachusetts from there.
Yep, and get a hold of
Right
Scott
off,
McGee.
right off Abbott Run. I'm sorry,
No,
Nate
Payne Road.
Whipple Highway.
Yep, 401-639-2906.
That's right off Payne Street, by the way.
Yes.
Payne Road.
I'm sorry, Payne Road in Cumberland, Payne Street,
North
Woonsocket.
Attleboro.
Right.
No, North Attleboro.
Payne Road's in
Payne
Cumberland.
Payne Road runs from Cumberland off of Nate Whipple into North
Into
Yes,
what?
yes, it does.
Into
Yes.
yeah, but this is right.
But oddly enough, it stays Payne Road.
Yeah, that's right.
well, that's because there's sensible people in that area of the state.
And there's little cement things by the side of the road showing you when you just go into the other.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
But
To the other
but back to
state.
your question,
Surveyor's
do I want a
markers.
window in my shower? The answer is no.
No, I actually like having the window in the shower.
No.
Open the window in the summertime. Open the window up. Steam gets out.
Yeah, we have it in ours,
I like that.
but the window is this big. It's not a full size window.
Well, no, of course
When
not.
I say
but
this big, I'm saying that window is maybe 14 inches tall.
no, exactly.
and-
but
and
I
rather
wouldn't want it,
narrow.
especially now with drones and stuff.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Just saying,
well,
it
that
happened in Warwick.
That woman in
the bottom
Cranston.
of
It was
my
at Cranston,
window-
at the Warwick Cranston,
Cranston,
area.
yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom of my window is at like higher than my eyes.
Oh, okay. That's
For
not
you,
too bad.
it'd be like, is she in there?
Yeah, you wouldn't even know. There'd be steam, and that was it. Because you don't wear heels in the shower.
No, you don't, right?
Not normally.
No.
All right. The men's
Scott
basket-
McGee.
Scott McGee. That's
Did you give
right.
his phone number?
I did. I did.
Did we sing it?
No, we don't sing anymore.
We
right,
did not
all right,
sing it.
The Brown University men's basketball coach is off the hook for his hit and run.
Yeah.
The
Getting on with life.
yeah, it's a misdemeanor count of failing to stop related to an accident that took place in early October. His insurance company accepted liability, so they're going to pay out for the person that got hit for whatever damage was done to their car. I'm not sure if it was totaled or not. And he gets a slap on the wrist and goes back to coaching basketball.
Yeah, I don't get that one either.
I
Well, we don't
either.
know about the going back to
Oh, no,
coaching
there's still
basketball
something
because
else
that
going
has
on
not
there.
been announced by the university yet.
No. There's something else going on there.
There were some other issues, personality or personnel issues before this incident, which brought it all to a head. And since they were criminal charges, and the way I understood it, the way I read what was printed out for us, Joe, is that, yep, he had a bad night, made some bad decisions. He hit a car. He was going too fast, probably, according to the witness, whose car was hit. He was going too fast.
He did turn himself in.
Right. And he basically got away with it and then heard they were looking for him and turned himself in before they had to work too hard to find him. But I think the takeaway from all this is that when his insurance company stood up for him and said, we'll take care of the financial responsibility for what happened, that authorities looked at it and said, okay, fine. If their financial responsibility is taken care of and the person who was wronged is being made whole and no longer wants to press charges, then we don't have criminal charges.
So the hit and run goes away.
We'll reduce it to a traffic citation. It's going to go on his driver's record, and you better believe his insurance company is going to give him a black mark.
Yeah, that's his money. That's going
Oh, yes, that's right. So
they may just drop them altogether.
They may just drop them altogether. You're right about that. But in the system, other insurance companies are going to be able to look up his driving record, and there is a penalty.
Yeah.
To him for his wrongdoing, but does it stay at the criminal level? No, it doesn't. So they drop it.
All right, we're going to move some things around. So, Sue, you'll be the sponsor of the next segment, and then we'll make Bob the sponsor of the fourth segment today.
Okay.
We're at 8:30, so we got to take a break. And it's time for the forecast, being brought to you by Unbound.org.
An 80% chance of rain today before 4 p.m. High of 42 and a calm wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 38 degrees. Friday's weather, mostly cloudy, high of 51. Saturday, sunshine and 47. Sunday, sunshine and 43. Monday, sunshine and 45. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 46. And next Wednesday, sunshine and 47 degrees.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we do have clouds, some light rain, and 38 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor, an elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own at Unbound.org.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated. By the year 2020, that figure rose to 56%. The Cremation Association of America projects that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center. The Reindeer Games are coming to ON Radio beginning Monday, November 27th. Coffee Ann on ON Radio. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards. Sue Tessier McKenzie's ready to... We're moving things around a little, so the Blackstone Valley Call-in-Times is the sponsor of this segment of Coffee Ann. So, Sue, first message from the paper, please.
Good morning, all. Lots going on. It is the busiest time of year for us. I am currently working on our food basket program. So if anybody's looking to sponsor a family of 4 to 5 people, a meal for Thanksgiving, and again for Christmas, give me a call. This can be done through, at the end of the year, some businesses have to spend money. We can help you do that, and you'll be supporting a family for both holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. You can call my cell phone at 401-487-4136. Again, Sue McKenzie at 487-4136.
All right, Sue, very good. And other things going on. In Massachusetts, they're going to move the 2024 primary day. Or at least they want to.
They don't want to be the last primary in all of America, Joe. That's just wrong.
Yep. So
nobody wants to be last, but somebody has to be last.
Well, it's not going to be Massachusetts.
It could be last on the same day as somebody else.
The State House has voted to move next year's primary election day to the day after Labor Day. The date is 2 weeks earlier than the usual September 17th. It would be held under the state law, which calls for the primary to be 7 weeks before Election Day. So the September 17th date would be the last primary held in the country. If it stays in place, the change will need to be approved by the Senate and the governor before committee officials. So it has not officially moved just yet, but we'll see if that goes anywhere. And it makes you wonder, are any other states having a primary on the day after Labor Day?
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
I remember hearing complaints.
Super Tuesday and
I remember hearing complaints from politicos that, okay, fine. Nobody's thinking about voting the day after Labor Day.
Of course not.
and so it's going to reduce the number of voters. And then they said, but the people in the party think that everybody who doesn't want to vote on the primary day is going to vote beforehand, before Labor Day. So I don't know, but we all lose Labor Day anyway, one way or the other, because we have to be out campaigning. So we can't be with our families.
It might have been thinking like that in older days, but now that for the majority of schools, the schools go back before Labor Day.
Yes.
So families are not on vacation
That's wrong.
for Labor Day and the day after Labor Day, and then they go back to school. So most families will be home on that Tuesday, so you might get a higher voter turnout on the day after Labor Day than you would normally. So just we'll see if they actually do it. When's Rhode Island's primary day?
I
next
do
year.
not know.
Well, this past year, it was the day after Labor Day, and that's where I got an earful about it.
But what about this year? What about in 2024?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine it's the same as last year.
Day
that
after?
they changed it. And Massachusetts is up there saying, well, they adopt all the stupid laws we adopt. We should pick up a few of theirs.
All right. Well, yeah, Rhode Island likes following. What's Mass doing? Let's do what they do.
I wonder if Rich Elaine is listening in this morning. I know it's a day early, but what the heck, He loves it when I act stupid like that. I do it for the entertainment value, of course.
The state of Rhode Island is buying the former Charles Gate Nursing Center in Providence,
All right.
and they're shelling out
You
$7
gonna
million
autograph
to purchase this. The Rhode Island Department of Housing plans to convert the building into 100 rooms for the homeless. I guess this is a good idea. 3 floors are currently being leased by the nonprofit Amos House. It expects to use 57 rooms this winter for homeless families and veterans.
Well, let me tell you something. I have a distinct but fuzzy recollection of the earlier portions of this scenario. Mm-hmm. As I recall, the guy who owned it was politically well connected in Cranston and worked for months, if not a year, trying to get the city to take it over. And because he was politically connected, there were some people who politically didn't like him, and they blocked it. So he went to get the state to do it, and he got it through.
Okay.
So that, I think, is the story behind the story. I'm just not really confident about like names and stuff like that. I don't recall the name of the guy.
Well, he's
Because
making
I really
$7
didn't
million.
care that much
Yeah.
when I read the story, but
All
I think
right.
I remember that.
Well, here's a question for Sue. Going back to your limousine days,
Yes.
Vice President Harris is going to be in Boston today.
Yeah.
So along comes her with her Secret Service and blocking off streets.
Sure.
Did you ever have to drive up to Boston when a president or vice president was also in town and get stuck in presidential traffic?
Yes.
No.
No,
I
huh?
have gotten stuck. I've got stuck in a lot of kind of traffic.
Yeah.
But we used to drive the Boston Marathon.
So to Hopkinton or to Boston?
Back and forth all day long.
Oh, okay.
All day long.
Yeah.
So we had our own situations
Yeah.
with road closures. Because we were
By the
driving.
way, did they charge you? Did Massport charge you for a drive-through? Once your vehicle entered the property
No, what happened
to
before?
get off the
it's not-
property, they would charge
No,
you to get
what
off.
would happen is when you dropped people off at Massport,
Yeah.
you just dropped them off.
Yeah.
But when you picked them up, you had to log in. You had to sign in. You had
Yeah.
to pull into this parking lot,
Right.
go into this little shack, say
What-
who
and
you
what they
were, where
charge
you
you?
were going. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like per because you would get a bill.
Because you had limousines.
You had to pay for the Massport certification.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get the Massport certification, you had to have like $1.5 million worth of insurance.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And so now you get qualified. So your vehicles have a sticker
Yeah.
that say you are Massport authorized.
Right.
Then you would go to the terminals. Well, first you had to check into at the shack, so they gave you another card for that day because they didn't know what you were doing. It's not like they had toll gantries or anything. You had to go in and check and say, I'm here to pick up at Terminal A.
Right. Sure.
This is the flight, this is the time, and so on. So they gave you an additional pass. That is when you had to pay.
Okay.
So
But only when you were picking up,
only when you were picking up.
not to drop off.
So there were people that would drop off all day long without any certification.
Yeah.
And then maybe they only had one vehicle that was authorized.
Right.
And that's the vehicle that would make the pickup, so that
Yeah.
they didn't have to pay for all the vehicles.
There's always a way to game the system.
There's
right?
always a way.
Except when you drop your friend off at the airport. You remember that little white car I used to have?
Yep.
I loved that car. Best car I ever owned. That little white XB.
Yep.
Well, I had combination plates on it because it's a private passenger car. It wasn't owned by the company. It wasn't registered to the company. It was me, my personal car, but I did use it for my work.
Right.
All right. So, rightfully, under Rhode Island statutes, I'm supposed to have a combination plate because it's used for combination commercial
Personal
and
business.
personal. Right. So I'm following the laws and everything. And I bring my friend up to Logan Airport early in the morning one Saturday morning. And it's like 5 o'clock now. I've dropped them off and I'm trying to get off the property. And they stop me. I say, that'll be, I forget what it was, $15 or something like that.
Wow.
$15 to drive any further off the property. You can't get off the property without paying them the money.
Well,
That's the way
that's
it's
new.
done.
At like a toll, right? Why? Because you have a commercial vehicle. I said, no, I have a private passenger. Would you like to see the registration? No, I'm not lifting the bar until you give me the money.
Oh, wow.
I said,
yeah, that
it's
I
got
never heard
combination
of.
plates because I occasionally use it in my work, and that's Rhode Island law. Well, commercial vehicle, sorry, you pay.
Wow.
Just like
Never
I was
heard
a
of that.
limousine.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Mm.
With us, it was you got in, dropped off, no issues. But of course, this was some years ago. And it's
That's true.
it was back in the day. I could tell you stories about just Massport itself.
I bet.
it
I bet,
was. There was some great people there. You'd get these storms, you'd got a delay, and there weren't many women limo drivers.
That's true.
So now you got a.
There were even
2,
fewer limo
3
drivers owners.
Exactly. You got these delays, 2, 3, 4 hours, and the guys. There were some guys there. They watched out for me, and would be like, "All right, look,
They were respectful.
what's your delay? I got 3 hours. I got 3.5. I got 2. Let's go and have breakfast.
Right.
Or whatever the case was, and it was just such a good time. But the issue that we would run into with pickup and drop offs. You could pull in, this is where you park to make your pickups as a passenger vehicle. The limousines had different parking.
That's true. I remember.
So, however, what would happen is private cars would fill the limousine area
that. Oh gosh.
because it was prime parking.
Yes.
And one day I'm like third lane out and I'm not moving. I am not moving because I'm paying to be way over there. So a police officer came over to me, knocked on my window. I move it along. I'm like, nope, not moving along. And he, excuse me,
Yeah.
said, excuse me, see this? There's my pass.
Yeah.
See that? That's my sticker. Do you know how much I pay to have this? And he looked at me and I said, I belong at the curb. So if you're going to move anybody, it's going to be all
Move
those
them.
cars right there.
Yeah.
So what he did, he was busting me.
Yeah.
He had cars move in a way that you had to, now you can't see me on radio, but you had to come back up, go to the right, back up, go to the right, back up, go to the right, until I could get to the curb. So he did it purposely to bust me.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I got to the curb, hopped out. All the limo drivers are watching me do this.
Yeah.
And I did it without blinking an eye. Got out of the car and said, thank
Thank
you,
you.
and walked away. That cop bought me coffee the next day at Dunkin' in East Boston.
That is so, that is so funny. Oh, that's great. All right, we're going to take another break here in the Coffee Hour program. So, Sue, time for a second message now.
Second
Waxaw Valley
message.
call-in times.
Well, as I said, we have a lot going on, and one of the big ones that we start, it actually kicks off more like next week, but I'll give you an advance notice. We do our Christmas specials. So we have Home for the Holidays, we have the holiday gift guides, we have the food basket programs, front page gift of the day strip ads. We have so much going on. So number one, looking to advertise for the holidays, give me a call. You can call my cell, 487-4136, area code 401. But in addition to that, we have a contest for our readers where they can enter to win a stocking filled with gift certificates from our advertisers. So our advertiser, I'm just going to use numbers, they're running a $200 ad. They give us a $25 gift certificate. We deduct it from the cost of the ad, and it goes into the stocking. So our readers enter to win online. So that is an advance. It doesn't kick off, I believe, till the 17th of November, 16th or 17th. But just a heads up. Call myself, 487-4136.
All right.
And talk about busy. Wait till the milk fund starts.
Oh, please.
And you know, Seth and Joe and I have already had a little powwow. And so, you know, milk fund. Yeah.
It's coming.
And we have more events this year than ever before.
Oh, I
We
know.
have the auction starts on the 24th. We have the kickoff on the 1st.
Yeah.
We have bowling for milk on the 10th. And there's a whole bunch of other. Oh, there's another one on the 7th that I've forgotten. Oh, soup. The soup event on the 7th. And that's just what I'm talking about off the top of my head. And I don't know if you realize this, Joe. This lady sitting in the studio with us has raised more money from the Milk Fund in a single year than any other human on earth.
Congratulations.
Well, first, let me start by saying that I had a great team. We worked together. I was thinking of this morning. I can't believe you're bringing this up. You know, just getting ready and whatnot. And I remember we got dressed in period costumes and walked Walnut Hill Plaza when it was Walnut Hill Plaza.
It was full, yeah.
And we were caroling Walnut Hill for money for the Milk Fund.
Right.
Wow.
I was
Doesn't John
pregnant.
Pellizzari had his trumpet
Yep.
then?
I
Yeah.
was pregnant and dressed as a Christmas present with a bow on my head at Stop
It was
and
a big
Shop.
present.
I was a big present. I mean, you couldn't tell I was pregnant. Everybody gave me big checks that year.
Great.
And I don't
Yeah.
mean just big dollar figure. I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
size-wise,
right.
like 3x2s. You know. But one thing I do want to say on that note, the kickoff is December 1st, and Gary Lapier's hosting that, or
Circle Laurier,
Circle Laurier. He is looking to do a photo with all past chair people from the Milk Fund.
Oh.
So if anybody, if you haven't been contacted yet from Gary, give me a call. 487-4136, so I can at least get you the information.
All right. More of the Coffee and program coming your way. Stay tuned.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
There is nothing like the beauty of a little holiday tree to liven up the holidays. Join us at the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center for its annual Trim-a-Tree classes on Wednesday, November 29th at 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. Create and decorate your very own tabletop boxwood tree. This popular event sells out every year. A light meal is included. Private classes are available for groups of 15 or more. For tickets or additional information, visit Vos True Value Hardware or the St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center website.
This segment of Coffee and is sponsored by attorney Bob Lauder. When you need a skilled attorney who will fight for your rights, look no further than attorney Bob Lauder of Woonsocket. If your legal questions revolve around estates or trusts, then talk to Bob. If you're contemplating a divorce, then talk to Bob. Attorney Bob Lauder has a calming demeanor, which is very helpful in legal matters. And Bob has more than 40 years' experience practicing law. Call attorney Bob Lauder today at 401-762-4550, 762-4550. The Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thanks for joining us on the Coffee and program. Joe Callahan here with Sue Tessier-McKenzie. Dave Richards is here as well. And sad day, the 3 National Zoo down there in Washington, D.C., giant pandas are going back to China.
Well, they're property of China.
Yeah, they gave
by
it to
China
us
law.
in
The
50
pandas
years
are
ago, they gave it
their
to us.
property. Yeah, and we can send them on loan, and we don't have to keep them up. We don't have to clean up after them. We don't have to feed them, stuff like that. Put them on loan and let somebody pay us to own those pandas. That's smart business, I suppose. But now I said, well, we'd like to have them down here for a while and cuddle them. And
Now, was there a date set when this arrangement was made? Like
Maybe.
after X time, we get them back.
You get it for 50 years.
That's a
So
long
if
time.
50
Like,
years over. So
I'm
here you
sorry.
go.
After after so many
I mean,
years,
seen a panda today, seen a panda tomorrow. 50 years, maybe a bit generous.
Maybe.
after
So
50 years,
now-
are they the same panda?
I don't know.
Good point. I
mean,
It just
how
says
does
there's
that
only
work?
it just
Good
says there's
point.
only 3 giant pandas there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're the same 3 from
Well,
50
it
years
showed
ago.
that I did see one picture on TV that there were cubs born. So what?
I don't know.
Where are they? I mean,
don't know. But if you want to see the giant pandas, the only place in the United States to go is now Atlanta. Zoo Atlanta will now be the only zoo in the country to feature giant pandas, and they may be going soon too. Atlanta's contracts for their forebears is up next year. And there hasn't
Wow.
been any word about an extension. So yeah, they signed contracts on this. China first gave here we go. China first gave 2 giant pandas to the U.S. in 1972 as a symbol of diplomacy after President Nixon visited the country.
That's true.
So they must have had babies, and so it's not the 2 original, but we've created at least 3, and,
Right.
And those all belong to
but
China.
they belong to China, so we're giving you back.
yeah, and that had to be in a contract, offspring, and yada
Come
yada.
back, or our
because
property
it's
too.
like, yeah, you gave us Ethel and George. They're gone. We
Yeah.
now have, so it had to be in a contract.
So it doesn't say, but do we fly them back to China, or do we put them on a boat? How do giant pandas handle travel?
Well, I'm guessing number
Either
one.
way, it's a long way.
They're going to be sedated, I'm sure.
For the entire trip?
Oh,
Well,
probably.
you're probably going to sedate them just to get them out of
Yeah.
their enclosure.
Yeah. I
Well,
think you'll sedate
perhaps
them.
they will be. I'm sure they'll be accompanied by some
Yeah.
veterinarian expert who
Expert, yep.
will be
Panda
interested
experts.
in their mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the largest blue diamond to hit the auction block is being sold, or it's sold. It's sold for more than $44 million
Right.
at Christie's auction house. It's a 17-carat blue diamond. Can you imagine wearing a 17-carat ring?
You know what? I recently acquired my mom's
Mm-hmm.
50th anniversary diamond and wedding band, which they got it for the 50th. She got it at her 50th anniversary. And she gave it to me because she's like, enjoy it now. Well, when I'm gone, I want to know that you
You
enjoy
liked
it.
it. Okay.
And I get nervous with it. And it is not
How many carats?
even
is
a
it?
million.
You know?
Well, I don't know, but it's pretty.
It's good size. Yeah.
It's pretty.
All right.
But yeah, I would not wear what was it, 44 million?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
That's what it sold for. 17-carat blue royal ring is now the most expensive jewel sold at auction this year. It had been part of a private collection for 50 years and now will be handed over to another collection. People collect these things. They don't wear them.
Right?
It's just they put it under glass and
I'm sure the insurance company has something to say about you wearing it.
Yeah, right.
Like never.
Yeah. Well, I could just imagine if I had gotten something like that. One of the earlier things in my mind would be, first of all, if you can afford $44 million for a diamond that you can't afford to wear, then you can afford to have a duplicate made.
Right.
So, okay, I own it. Mm-hmm. I have it in a safe place. Now I will wear the duplicate.
The zirconia.
Yeah.
Cubic zirconia ring.
Sleazy CZ. Yeah, right. Cubic zirconia. Yeah, really.
The lab created.
I would wear, if I was going to wear jewelry, as you can see, I don't. But that's just not me. But if I was going to wear it, then I would have a duplicate made that I could wear for my pleasure and conversation and let everybody envy me or whatever my emotional motivation might have been. And knowing that I do rightfully wear that duplicate because I own the real thing.
But would you say that it's a duplicate is the question. Otherwise, somebody might break your finger.
Yeah,
take
well,
it.
I see your point. I see your point. Well, it's hard to imagine in such detail, but saying, yeah, if I was wearing the duplicate, I would say it looks just like this.
Yeah, well, if you had it made, I would make an issue about having it made.
Yeah.
And say, this has been created to resemble
Yeah.
100% that diamond,
Yeah.
so that I can show people what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's different. But if they think you're wearing, that's just like people that were ripping gold chains off your neck because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's there, it's visible. If you see that ring, no problem breaking somebody's finger to get at it.
When I look at the people that break the law, two of the dumbest things I think is trying to rob a bank and trying to rob a casino.
Yeah.
Just due to the multitude of cameras that are there. But that doesn't stop people from doing this.
Right.
And this was in Illinois. A man is accused of stealing more than $14,000 worth of casino chips from
Just the
workers.
chips.
Just the
Just the
chips. They don't
chips.
want the money or the cash. I guess they think they're going to come back and gamble it.
Wow.
But they're stealing the chip or going and cash it in. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. But this took place at Rivers Casino. It's in DePlain, Iowa. Ismail Itayat has been charged with counts of armed robbery. Authorities say the defendant wore a black face mask on Halloween, pointing a gun at casino employees before stealing chips and leaving. But there's a million cameras.
In, out, all the way around.
In every single casino. A judge ordered the man detained in Cook County Jail while awaiting a trial. His next court date is on November 30th, so he was caught rather quickly.
Yeah, right?
Probably with the chips on his person.
Yeah, because you didn't have time to even
Or
unload it.
scattered on the floor once they collared him and shook
Yeah.
him.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're not mine.
Drop
It is,
one between the car seat.
Hey, those are $100 chips, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
I want those back.
You're right. But you had the story the other day about the guy who was, among others, brought into the Woonsocket police station and
Yes,
with
one of the
drug
homeless.
charges. Woonsocket police did some great police work. They went, they observed, they saw, they deployed, they caught these people, brought them down to the police station, and this guy is found to have fentanyl on him, a small amount, which goes on the charges. Now he's going to have to answer for that. And then he falls asleep in the roll call room while they're waiting to process him further.
You can't make this stuff up, Sue.
And he falls asleep. His mouth opens, and out drops onto the floor a glassine bag with more drugs. In the police station roll call, which he had
think we're making this up,
successfully
but yeah.
he had successfully hidden it from the
Hidden it,
cops
yeah.
to that point. He was still going to be processed some more, so they probably would have found it. But it was just so
so funny.
precious,
Yeah.
really, that he was there and he
That's
he kept it from the
hilarious.
cops anyway. Inside his mouth, he falls asleep. His jaw drops down. He opens his mouth, and out drops the drugs onto the
Wow.
floor.
That's priceless.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if he woke up when
I read about it in the Call-in
when
Times.
the drugs dropped out.
That is
Or did he
priceless.
stay asleep? And the cops come over, hey, buddy,
Yeah, right.
we saw this fall out of your
No,
mouth.
I can see it now. Make sure you got this on video, because you can't.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do
'Cause
a
you gotta
retake.
you got to show
Nobody
it to
You
him.
believe
have
it.
to have it on
No one would
video.
believe it, that's right.
And it's like, dude, you're not going to believe what happened. I can see it now. Dude, you're not going to believe what you did.
Say, no, it didn't happen. No, let's watch the videotape. Yeah, that is me. Yes, Dave.
Second message for Bob Larder.
Yes, go right ahead.
762-4550, telephone number to call if you need some good old-fashioned lawyering. What you need, of course, first and foremost, is a knowledgeable lawyer with some experience, knows how the game is played, and who will give you some honest advice. And that's Bob. He's I always vouch for him. He's been my personal attorney for all my adult life. And I really I trust his knowledge. Sometimes we disagree, and I say, no, I think we should do this. He says, well, these are our options. Are you sure you want to do that? But then it's okay. Argument over. He does it the way I want. We've always had good outcomes. Of course, it helps that I try not to get arrested or anything too. But Bob's in the general practice of law. 762-4550.
All right, very good. The show's come to an end, so we thank you for listening in. Sue Tessier McKenzie, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, and have a great rest of the week and a great weekend.
All right,
Long
David.
weekend.
Thanks for sticking around as well, David.
All righty. It was a pleasure. We're sorry that the mayor didn't come. We pray for the mayor.
All right, yeah, you're right. It's a holiday tomorrow.
It's a long weekend, yes.
And because my daughter came to my wife and I last night, can I have a sleepover with my friends here tomorrow night? I said, it's Thursday night. It's a school night. Why are you doing it then? No school on Friday, Dad, because it's a holiday. Okay. 4 teenage girls in the house tonight. Yay.
Oh, boy.
Yay for me.
Yay me.
Yes, yay. Okay. All right. Stay
Just
tuned.
don't wake them up in the morning when you come to work
No,
early.
that's the best part because that keep me up at night.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, girls.
They just went to bed.
All right.
Go back to sleep.
That's
Wake
right.
up and go to sleep.
Gary Smith and the crew coming your way at 9:30 with Do You Remember on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Massachusetts Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, is suggesting